Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. And nice to see nice to see y'all here. Good morning, Dan from Omaha. Good morning, Shauna. Let's see. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning. Let's see here. I saw Lorelai here. Good morning to you as well. It is a fantastic Tuesday. Thanks so much for being here. It's great to be with you. It's just to spend some time with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. The question of the day is, what motivates you? And Dan says, I'm motivated to finish this Odyssey in Omaha and have Stacy and I get back to our lives in Atlanta. Well, we want you back as well, Dan. So come on back, finish it up, and come on back. I understand. I've got an Odyssey up to Pennsylvania that I've got to go handle, and it's not the happiest circumstances that I'm going up there. But at the same time, I understand there's a sense of closure when I get it accomplished. Lauren says, I'm motivated by wanting to overcome challenges so I can get up every day with the mindset that I can. What a wonderful perspective, Lauren. Good morning, Shauna. You are, it certainly is a chilly morning today. I was thinking about what motivates me. And when I was younger, I mean, I distinctly remember that I was watching a documentary, and it was a documentary about Michael Jordan. I'm not sure why the documentary made me feel this way, but as I was, just kind of watching this documentary about the guy, his success in the basketball and also his success in other different areas of life, I found myself not liking him. And I was still young. I was probably about 8 or 9 years old at the time, but it took me probably a few years to recognize, because that memory was so salient in my head. But it took me a few years to recognize that at that time I was just experiencing jealousy. And why was I experiencing jealousy? Like, I've never played basketball. I'm not built for basketball. Okay, I'm built for picking stuff up off the floor. I'm not built for putting basketballs in hoops. Why would I be jealous about somebody who is successful, first of all, or that is successful at something that I don't aspire to be successful at? And it took me a couple of years to really parse those feelings, and I kind of realized that it wasn't necessarily the success that I was jealous of. It was the fact that he was being excellent at what he did, and that he was willing to say yes to being excellent at all kinds of different things. And at the time, I was very much limiting myself through my own preconceptions of who I was. Now, these are big thoughts to be having when you're like 8 years old, which is why it took me until I was like 12 or 14 to kind of really figure that out. But when I did, I got a really valuable lesson out of it, and the lesson that I took out of it was that excellence is one of my values, and that I can be excellent too. I can be excellent at everything I do. I can choose to put effort into everything that is worth doing. And as I realized that, I all of a sudden, I came to an understanding that my feelings of jealousy or my feelings of inadequacy that I had when I was younger were because I really wasn't living up to my own potential, because I was making myself small in order to more or to better fit in, I guess, with the overall the overall mindset and the overarching social or cultural mores of the people that were all around me at the time. Now, since then, I've learned how to surround myself with people who are definitely more on my trajectory, and I don't have to do that anymore. But definitely, when I was younger, that was really a valuable lesson for me. And yeah. So, anyways, that's what motivates me. I'm motivated by excellence. When I see somebody being really excellent at what they do, I am motivated to do better myself. And that's just so fun. So at this point, I surround myself with excellent people. I surround myself with people who are above average and who do things very well. People who value doing things very well. And in the end, I feel like I have a much better life because of it. So, anyways, that's what motivates me. So it's nice to see what motivates you guys. Thank you so much for answering the question of the day. We're going to get into the wake up call with Maui Paul, and I'm going to pull a card off the top of the deck. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card. We're going to write it down in the comments, and we are going to affirm it for each other. And I am continuing to work with the physical versions of my cards, and going to be doing that until the end of the year. Give you a peace sign. There you go, just for you. Just for you, Donna, and happy birthday to Amy Jo Strong as well. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna pull a card off the top of the deck. We're going to work through the affirmation on that card. We're going to say the word "I am," and in order to really cement this into our lives. And boy, do we have a fun one today. So let's get on it by saying that today, I am blessed. I am blessed. Universal forces work together for my benefit. So I am blessed. Universal forces work together for my benefit. Are you blessed? You are blessed. Universal forces work together for your benefit. So I'm going to write that down in the comments. And as I do, I am bringing that into my life. You know, every time that I pull this card, there is typically some kind of a lively debate about some higher power. But I don't view blessing as that kind of a sentiment. I view it as being, we know that we are surrounded by universal forces. We define them using like physics or math terms. And in the words of Albert Einstein, which still hold up very well over all these years, the primary thing that we must decide in our lives is, do we believe that we live in a benevolent universe or a hostile one? And I believe that I live in a benevolent universe, and thus I am blessed. So I am blessed. Universal forces work together for my benefit. All right. So I've written that down. I see you guys are writing it down as well. When we write things down, it gives us another layer of faith, another level of belief, more so than just hearing me say them. When we say them ourselves, when we write them down, we are able to internalize this. But what is blessing exactly? And in religious context, blessing is some kind of unmerited favor, some kind of favor that you get not for doing work, but just for existing. And I like to look at it in that context too. Here I am. I'm existing on this plane of understanding, on this plane of reality. I'm perceiving, and the perceptual reality that's all around me is one that I can view as being beneficial for me, or that I can view as being hostile toward me. Ultimately, the blessing comes not because of some higher power bestowing it, but rather because of what I'm choosing to focus on. And since I have the ability to choose what I focus on, I have the ability to recognize the benevolence of all of the things that are working together for me. In fact, when I consider the best things that have ever happened in my life, they have always come as a result of this sort of like confluence of events. Random chances all come together, and they all come together to really propel my life forward. And things that, sometimes things that I've been working on, but more often random encounters with people, or I just happen to be in the right place at the right time. So I am blessed. Universal forces work together for my benefit. And whether we believe in, whether we have some religious or spiritual belief, or whether we believe that this universe is all there is, it doesn't really matter. What does matter is that we are perceiving, that we are, that we are choosing to focus on all the things that are working together for us, instead of focusing on all the things that are working together against us. And when we focus on what's working for us, when we focus on all the stuff that is moving together in order to benefit us, so that we can continue to have the things, not just that sustain life, but also that make life worth living, then we find that we are the beneficiary of many, many blessings. So I am blessed today. You are blessed too. Everybody that I know is blessed. I recently attended a corporate event on it's called a privilege walk, which is sort of like an offshoot of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And one of the things that essentially the point of this exercise was that everybody starts in one place, and then they read out statements, and if the statement applies to you, you take a step forward, and if the statement doesn't apply to you, that you stay where you are. And there were things like, statements like, my parents read to me as a child, or I grew up in a place where I didn't have to lock my door at night, things of that nature. As they were reading these questions, I realized that so many of them were not things that I directly controlled. Like, I didn't control the fact that my parents read to me at night, or that my parents encouraged reading so much. But as a child, when they did do that, I was able to, and have been able through my entire life, to really have a leg up in understanding, because I learned how to love learning. And that is an incredible blessing that I have in my life, that that I didn't do anything to earn or deserve. My parents thought it was important, and so they did it for me. And so those forces that I did not control are working together for my benefit, even to this very day, when I can pick up a book and very much enjoy it. Whereas a lot of people that I know haven't touched a book since they were in school, because they swore that as soon as they left school, they would never pick up another book again, because they were forced to read and they hated it. And so ultimately, the forces that work together for our benefit, they do so in ways that we never really controlled them in the first place. And so this card is our invitation to release some of that control, to release the need for that control in our lives, and to recognize that oftentimes much larger narratives are at play, much larger forces are at play than we could ever understand fully. So I am blessed, and you are blessed too. We are blessed people. Universal forces work together for our benefit. So as we go through our day, let's be looking for all of the ways in which in which life is working in our favor. And as we do that, we're going to be able to really have an enviable perspective on life, which is going to be attractive to other people and help us to really manifest our ideas even more plainly in this world. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here today. Let's see here. I got a whole bunch of comments here. Dan says, I was blessed to be born in the best country in the world and have terrific family and friends. It is certainly something that we didn't control at all, Dan, to the country in which we were born, and yet it has such a profound effect on our lives. Let's see here. Shauna says, service issues, but I feel blessed to watch this later. And Lauren says, I'm blessed to be able to join in on the wake up call, have all you lovely people in my life. Like so much of the blessing that we have in our lives comes from other people. And the people that we have in our lives have an outsized impact on our ability to really reach our own potential. So let's just go on out. Let's go love the people in our lives, whether we feel like they're an asset to us or not. Let's just go and love them. And in doing so, become even better versions of ourselves. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. I got another card to pull, but I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. It is always a pleasure to come here and just to wake up in the morning and get started by thinking about this stuff. I am blessed, and you are blessed too. And universal forces are working together for our benefit today. All right, my friends, I love you and care about you. And we'll return tomorrow with another message for you. Until then, I will chat with you then. And aloha from paradise.